gonna put the breather on this one?
If possible. We've got it. It looks nice.
Okay.
Doing the video. Doug's in today. Me and Doug having fun today.
Yeah, playing cards.
Yeah, playing cards. He calls me up, want to play cards today, son? And I said, yes, Doug, I do. And he comes down, what he's gonna do is he's just preparing the Jag engine so we might be able to get it run. He's taking all the head bolts off right now and cleaned it up and trying to get it clean. And he's gonna retorque the head to the proper specs.
You're gonna retorque the head.
He's gonna show me how to retorque the nuts to spec. And we're just gonna sit here and have, play cars. The Bugatti is, the radiator's in place. What I might do here after a little bit, after we get going here a little bit, and Doug takes a little break from the engine there, I might put a cross member in there to bolt the radiator to, so when it comes out. So I'm thinking that we have the radiator that works for the car, which is it's a big thing off the chest because, we'd have to buy one or find one or something. So we've actually done well by going up and using the Nervous P and seeing that. It's there. So right now, we're just cleaning everything up, putting all the washers on. Did you see how I slowed up when I started talking? Doug was, wanting the nuts, I slowed up. I gotta speed back up, and that's something that you do sometimes when you're talking, you're not paying attention. I gotta get you a couple more washers, don't I?
Yep.
Gotta give him a couple more washers.
I can use nuts first, though.
You can use some nuts though first.
Yep.
I'll try to get them cleaned off as fast as I can. Doug works quite fast. There's a lot of 20-year-olds that don't look like Doug. And there's not. But that's what we're doing, we're just playing this right now. Doug has cleaned the carburetors up, got them all cleaned up. Took you a while. How long did that take you, Doug?
Well, to rebuild them took me the best part of a day. I mean, they were toasted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you polished them, you cleaned them.
Yeah. And Pat Conley gave us some parts that we needed to
I don't even know Pat Conley, but I'll thank him.
you met him at the dinner that time.
Okay.
He was sitting up our end of the table
Yeah.
across from me.
Okay.
Really good guy.
Yeah.
A really nice guy. He's gonna give me a lesson on cleaning carburetors with the,
Did you want a washer on that?
yes, I did, thank you. Yeah, he takes takes them apart and sandblast and glass beads and,
Yeah.
so he sent me into Princess Auto and I bought the appropriate piece of gear and he's gonna come over next week and give me a lesson.
They talked you into spending your money.
Oh, yeah. Don't we all? You never get out of Princess Auto with less than what you.
It's funny about that, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
Went for one thing, come out with half a dozen more, 'cause it's.
is that taking place of a washer, obviously?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's
That's no,
too thick to put any.
anything else?
Washers underneath that.
Best ones I can, get them cleaned off. Get them, stick them in Versol to clean them off. And that's what we're doing, just clean them off, make them look the best we can. Doug even got us to scrape the center of it down and paint it. I told him I wanted a gold engine, but he said, no, this isn't the right one for gold engine. No, is it, Doug?
No?
Nope. She's not the right one for gold. I'll give you a piece of advice. Do not mix Versol with paint. It will not dry. No, it will not dry. Just a piece of advice.
It's thinner.
It is for if it did not dry. Any more you need?
Yep.
Good day for it, Just in the garage, playing with the car, mind our own business, ain't we, Doug?
Yeah.
Huh? I'm not bothering nobody, mind our own business, working.
Having fun.
Having fun.
Thank you.
No worries. We're getting advice today as we work on the engine. Getting advice. I need to get all
Teach you everything I know in 5 minutes or less.
What's that?
I can teach you everything I know in 5 minutes or less. How's that?
Well, I don't know if I can keep up though. That's the problem.
The rest of it will just be bullshit.
one more. Do you need any more washers?
No, I'm good, good for washers.
Good for washers. Okay, we got a few washers left over because we put mounts on the engine, and so we can pick it up. Doug has also found an oil pan.
Not sure that's gonna fit, but we're gonna try.
Okay, so it might have come with a steel oil pan, obviously.
Yeah, Bernie tells me that, and Peter did too, that a lot of them have steel pans on it, that vintage.
Yeah.
The pan looked like it had been monkeyed with, that's why, there's one for an aluminum one. If we're lucky, it'll fit.
I'm going to put the washers and leftovers just up here.
Yeah.
The washer up there, everything. You see the...
You got your torque in it, right?
I do.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, the final torque is 54 foot-pounds. I'm gonna get you to torque these in order to 50 pounds, or 45 if you like. And here I'll give you a diagram of what,
I gotta blow my nose. We had a little towing action out there this morning. Ran across the dooryard a couple times, picked up the shovel, and I felt like I just played my first game of hockey in about 3 years. Kept that up with my
that's the
face.
sequence you torque them in. So this is the first one right here. Bring that to 45 foot-pounds.
Now,
You can see that, 45.
I'm gonna get a set of glasses on.
Good idea.
So 45. 45 is just what you say, a little mark above 40?
Halfway between the 50 and the 40.
God, don't be like that.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
that's 60, isn't it?
Well, yes, it's at 40. Okay.
Wait,
I got her now, I got her. You say 45?
45.
That mark right there. That mark in between this.
That's
for sure.
50, yeah,
The little one.
you're right, that's 50 in between the 60 and 45.
I think that's. Come, take a look at your glasses on, Doug.
If you tell me 45, it's 45.
Should be good.
Yeah, now this one.
My first time torquing down a head. It's my first time.
Yeah.
I'm a virgin. What, Doug? So this is just like actually welding a piece on a car. I would start from the center and work my way out.
Yeah. You don't put undue pressure in the wrong place at the head and warp it.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 3.
Geez, old 45 pounds torque is quite a bit, you know.
Well, you're not done yet.
It's quite a bit, you know. Right on the 45.
Yeah.
There you go.
This one, 4.
Awesome.
When you hear it snap,
Yeah.
you can say, oh shit, and haul your engine apart.
Oh, is that what it's going? I say that's good. That's not what you hollered. That's good. So I was asking Doug earlier, you know, would you torque it down tighter because it's, you know, it's been there a while and you've loosened it off, but actually it's been there. So when you torque it down back in 45, it's still going to squish it.
Yeah.
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 Hard to accept that in the brain for a second, but I get it.
So the bolts are designed for a certain torque. See, you don't want to stretch the bolts.
All right, I'm gonna walk by there.
That's all right, that's all right.
No worries. I'm just chase you around the engine. That's all. Chase you around the engine. You get messing with Jolene's lighting, then you'll be in trouble.
Hope you're doing that.
I'm nobody, but Jolene, when you mess with Jolene, you've been messing with somebody.
I understand.
I can guarantee it. all I can do is holler at you. I'm giving that up. I'll get Jolene write you a message. Right, baby? I'm gonna chase you around the engine. Sorry, sweetheart.
Sorry.
That's what we do at nighttime when it's cold in the house. I chase Jolene around.
Get on with it.
No, that's what I was thinking. All right, we'll just keep going here. Loves me. Yeah, 8. Did I do that one? No, not yet. Sorry. Do that one yet. I got my big high heel boots on today.
Yeah.
There's snow up there.
I step in there, yeah.
I'm high stepping, I am.
Get right.
She blows up, I torqued her raw.
Yeah, and
We should have James over here today. You should meet James, Doug.
11.
James is a good dude. The guy we got the engine from,
Yeah.
he's a good dude. And James. He's my earth angel. James is.
Well,
Hey, baby. Huh? Good thing you're here. I care if it's past 10 or 11. Ouch.
I got a picture here. I know you like pictures.
Yeah, I do like. I like pictures. You got that right, Doug. What they say, a picture says 1,000 years. 13, 14. And this one, yeah.
The cap for the distributor, and the rear rotors, I didn't realize they never
Had nothing on it,
had a
eh?
button there. I brought one.
Doug even brought his own paint to paint inside there after he cleaned it. Huh? I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Now, let's start over again. And,
What?
Well, we gotta end up at 54.
Oh, okay, so we just do it again. Saying you're gonna keep me in line, are you?
Let's go right to 54 this time.
You're gonna keep me in line though?
Yep.
Okay, good. Because I don't remember. I know
Yeah.
that sort of, but
54.
going to 54.
54.
So 50's
Halfway between the 50 and 60. 50.
perfect, Doug. Between 50. So 54 is what I want?
Yeah,
54. So I'm going to go to 50 high.
sure. 50,
Okay.
55.
Okay.
Don't hold the back on that when you're torquing.
There we go, I'd say.
Yeah. That's right.
Geez, I'm shaking like I'm pooping on something I shouldn't. Yeah. Good. That scared me for a second, Doug, you know?
Scare easy.
50. Okay, I'm gonna go there.
Try not to hold back when you're doing that. All you're doing is holding that erect.
Okay.
You don't want to
Holding that erect, he says.
You don't want to inhibit that from turning.
We're at 50. Right. There we go.
All right.
Don't have to do as much running this way. Someone's gonna check that. 50. Yep.
6. The torque wrench is over than you are.
Well, I hope it knows better than me. If you know what I'm saying, right there.
You got it?
Yeah, where's that one? Yeah, that, I got that one. Yep.
It's 1963 vintage.
1963.
Is that the one you got at Sears?
Yeah.
Cool.
Got that?
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
9.
Jesus. There we go.
10.
There we go. You want to see it next time?
11.
Come down on top straight. You want to see exactly where I'm at. Oh, you check that again. There you go.
12.
Now let's get in front of the light, get right on the. Yep.
13. If the nuts hadn't spun off so easily by hand when the brusher was taken off, I would have cleaned the threads with the wire brush and oil before we did this, so there was no drag on it. But they came off very easily by hand once the initial pressure was taken off. Okay. There you go. You marked your first head.
Sweat running off my forehead, look. Huh?
You put your torque wrench away, and I'll take this. How's that? Then we don't get our tools mixed
So
up.
that means Doug donated that to me. Give that to me, he did. It's older than I am. And so, all the engine is too, I think. Yep, the engine is too.
Now, before we put the pan covers on here, we should check the tappet clearance.
I don't know how to do that.
I'll show you.
I'll just clean up some stuff while I sit here, while I talk to you, and while you teach me stuff. Hey, baby? Baby. Don't mess with my baby, right? Don't mess with my baby. She's baby. Fix you. So what we're basically doing, this engine came here, I bought it from Jim. It had 3 spark plugs stuck in it. And me and Doug and Jeff actually worked on it. Me and Doug got them out in the end. That was kind of fun doing that. To get them out was kind of a nice feeling when we went back in the house. And because, that gives us a chance to maybe get the engine running. And like Doug said, if I was going to take the head off, all this timing gear would have to come off, the cams would have to come out, and when you got the head off, you still wouldn't get at the spark plug, it's still inside that hole. So as we've got it out, when it's still down on the engine, where basically, that's where it should have been, but we got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got real lucky.
That's 6,000s.
Yes?
These are the intake valves on
Yes.
this side, exhaust on that.
How do you know? Just a minute now.
Sorry,
Carburetors?
4,000, this one's 6 on the other side. So
This is carburetor side,
that's carburetor side, so that's the intake.
and exhaust on this side.
Yeah, and the exhaust.
And that because the exhaust manifold's over here and intake is over there. So intake valve, exhaust valve.
Intakes are set at 4,000s, and the exhaust are set at 6. So what you do, you get the back end of the lobe, see here? And that should just slide through there nicely.
Okay.
And let's just see if how slack that is.
Slid in there kind of nice.
It did.
They call that a used part.
Well, the worst thing you can have is too tight, because then you burn the valves.
Yeah, well, it didn't seem like it had that, did it?
No, it certainly didn't. It wasn't too tight.
Good. Stand right up against that fender there, baby. And then you have to hold it.
Let's try a 6 on that, just for shits and giggles.
No, yeah, that's good.
See, that's not 6, so it's not far off.
So let's do that again.
It won't take 6.
Okay.
It did take 4.
Okay.
That's good. So a sloppy 4, that's good. Now what we have to do is adjust, rotate the engine so that the lobes are sticking up.
So we just turn that?
You think you can turn it?
Well, I'll try. Put a pair of gloves on. I got my coffee over here. Don't want to lose that. Listen, I couldn't think of a better Sunday thing to do on a Sunday. Could the baby? Huh? Hanging out and see if an engine will run. I'm just gonna put these on. It usually hurts my hand when I get going on it. Jeez. No.
I think you need the wrench on that.
All right. Well, that like I know on 350 Chev or it's a small one, you can twist that nut off. The nuts quite a good size, are they?
The nuts got a retainer on it, yeah. I thought that was 35 mil, but on the old Jag engine I got, it was 35 mil, but this is different. Let's try 1.25 inches.
What have I got in Vegas here? It's an 8. That's the biggest I got. What do I got here?
Let's try 1.25 inches.
1.25 right there, bud.
Yeah.
That's the bad boy. A little bigger than that. I get a monkey wrench on that.
1 inch and 5/16. I don't think you will, Chad.
You don't think I'll get a monkey wrench on that?
I don't.
We just got turned a little bit, have we not?
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to turn it right over because we gotta go right down the list of.
Okay. Would we have to take the plug back out there?
No, shouldn't have to.
Okay.
So we can get on this bad boy. Now, we can check two exhaust valves here. They're in the right position for it.
Okay. An exhaust valve has to be what?
4.
4. And this one had to be
Sorry,
6.
6 and 4. 4 in intake, 6 in the exhaust.
You'd have to really know what you're doing to.
Well, you go to the spec book, that's why I gave you one, remember? It's in that book.
Doug, I forgot to tell you, I'm a slow learner.
Now, that's real sloppy.
That's real sloppy.
In fact, it's stuck down.
Oh, so maybe you got a stuck valve.
The spring is stuck. And, see how that cup is not,
So
hasn't come up?
we need penetrating fluid is what we're saying.
See, there's cups underneath.
Yes.
There, and each of those cups is stuck down.
I see that. Now that you're just a minute now.
Now these are up, you see.
Yeah. Them ones are all working. So this one, that means that valve is stuck?
Yeah. Now this one's up. That one's up. That's definitely down.
Can we spray a little crown on them?
Well, if you got some really good penetrating
Got
oil.
some crown here, bud.
Sure, try
Got
it.
some crown behind. We got some crown here. Crown. We want the brake cleaner. We want the other stuff. We want the deep treat, don't we? Right there. That stuff right there.
Yep.
Can you tap on them like any at all? Like to
I've never had that happen, but yeah.
give that a spray somewhere there over there, see if it works first. Oh yeah, she got it. This is this one down? It looks like it's down on it, does it or not?
I think it's on it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll give them all a shot. That one is definitely stuck. And it's an interference engine, so if that was rotated, if we put the starter on and the valve was down,
Yeah.
it would either bend the valve or it would punch a hole in the top of the piston.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
It's interference.
I know what an interference is. That means that you have done something and you're in the way of something.
That means if your timing chain was out of timing, and the
So if I turn this over, I can bend the valve?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow. So we're not out of the woods yet.
I don't know which yet.
I wonder, would you tap on that at
Oh,
all?
it wouldn't hurt.
Piece of wood? Piece of,
Uh,
what are you thinking for a tap?
A brass tapper if you got it. You have such a thing, a brass punch?
I know, I got a brass hammer.
No, you need to get down in there.
I see that. No, I don't think I have a brass punch.
That's one thing I didn't bring.
Well, you didn't expect valves to be
No.
stuff, did you not? Are you able to check the one that, I guess it doesn't matter, are you able to check the one that's on there? Is there a clicker?
This one?
Yeah, that one's not even up though, does it, Doug? Look like they're all, that's down too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Hard to believe. What about this one?
Well, that's not on the, it's up somewhat. I
Oh,
think,
okay.
But it's not,
Well, it's pretty close to being, I guess it doesn't matter, but. What is happening, if I don't know if anybody knows or not, see these little round things right here?
the cups, yeah.
Little cups right there?
Yeah.
That's obviously what Doug's saying is that where the valve is. So if this camshaft is not hitting that valve, where it's stuck down on this side, camshaft is not hitting that valve, it's not good, because if we turn it over, there's called a gain interference, and someone's could get hurt. And it could be the valve or the piston.
Yeah.
And what if you turned it over slowly, Doug? It's still doing it, putting it against it, is it not?
It is, yeah. Yeah, no, we've gotta try and get that freed somehow.
Well,
Yeah, have you got a way?
I'm trying to think something softer than that you can hit it with.
Something with a round end so it doesn't mar that, because then the camera drivers will be.
I understand that. Something plastic, hard plastic. Hey?
This is round here, it might just do it. Well, where's your little hammer?
You want a hammer?
Yeah.
10-pound maul?
No, just a tiny one. Light when you got it. Didn't expect that.
No, we didn't pay attention. You were going to pay attention to that this morning. That's when you found it. Would if you turn it over slow, would it push it back up?
Well, it's gonna be hitting the valve, you see, and then it bends the valves down.
Okay, well, if you were just turning it over by hand, would, oh, hey, that moved up. Yeah, it did so. It went down. It's starting to
Ready to come up.
Is it on the top? Is it? Can I see if if it's marring the top of it, we'll get something else. Is it doing what you said it's doing, or is it knocking? Doesn't seem to be, does it? It's turning there, eh? Look at that.
It is turning.
Yeah.
The valve is stuck. Not the cup there, it's there. Yeah, there, the cup is free.
Yeah.
It's the valve itself.
That cup's free.
Yeah, so it's the valve itself that's stuck.
So,
Well, we can take this exhaust manifold off and spray lubricant in there and see if that does us any good.
so you took the exhaust manifold. Can you see the valve?
Yeah, you should be able to see the valve.
So you could pry on it, maybe.
Oh, you don't want to pry on valves. They're very susceptible to bending.
Okay. So we managed to spray a little penetrating fluid on these manifold screws or bolts.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Back them off.
back them off.
It's probably brass, so they'll come off pretty easy.
Is that right? I'll just take this hammer back.
Yeah, I think the brass.
Doug also brings back some more stuff over here. Bring the shift cable, some linkage for the throttle and all that stuff. and linkage for the carburetor, so I'm gonna have to go through it and find out what I'm gonna use. But that's a real good find right there, the shifter cable. Need that thing, you can't shift it without it. And Doug has taken his time and found it for us. Now he's here today playing with the engine. I wouldn't let him come, Sarah, do you? No, I wanna hang out. You had to do something, Sarah. Right. I'm gonna take and look that oil pan over and see if it looks the same, Doug. Instead of, I've got that sitting right on the oil pan I do. Doug has also brought back, just cleaned up the covers and brought back an oil pan. Gaskets. Oil pan gasket. Well, come with goodies, that's for sure. Come with goodies. I guess what I'm just going to do is look it over, try to compare it to that one. This one is a aluminum one. Wow, that's a beast. That is a beast.
Yeah, the later models had aluminum, they look a lot nicer.
They do so. I agree with you 100%. This is like Christmas. You know, this is almost like getting a aluminum intake for your 350. I got an aluminum oil pan.
So that fits.
We've got a piece here that goes for this. That sort of looks the same. I guess that would come off. That one there, I'm not sure if that one come off, but that fitting there obviously goes up to that. And that's a little different. There's the drainage. There's the drainage.
What's different?
This right here. See how this thing goes up in the air? See how this one goes in the air? This one.
But that, you can rearrange this pipe. To,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what you have to
yeah,
rearrange that.
as long as the bolt pattern are fine and this is fine, you're good.
Yeah. Look at this now, would you? Never noticed this. They have a bracket here where you bolt it to the engine and then you bolt it to the transmission. Blow my ears off. Bolt to the transmission so it doesn't come apart. And there it is. There it is.
On the other hand, she works, right?
What?
On the other hand, she would works.
I'm not going there. I'm going to check and just take a measure tape, just try to check and see how the distances are apart. Looks like it'll work. I guess there's not much other than that. Maybe the length will tell me, but everything looks the same. You know, I don't know. It's the same, man.
When we get her in the area, you'll see, you gotta take the pan off anyways, Chad, to see.
Did you take the oil out of it?
Well, as Peter said, if you don't clean the crud out of the pan, it's gonna drive that up to the galleries, and when they plug the galleries, you just ruin your engine.
Yeah.
So
I had a guy working on an engine for me once. Left all that stuff inside the engine. I'm thinking, anyways. We won't do that here now. Will we, baby?
Nope. Suppose you got air here, don't you?
I do. You want to go? You want?
You can do
I even got a stool for you to sit on, Doug, so you can take your time.
Look what I got.
You got
You
it.
got anything to fit that?
I'm probably using the exact same one you are.
Oh, you got one.
Well, no, I mean the hook on the air.
Oh, okay. Good.
I'm thinking I do. I'll turn the air on now.
You like doing things quick, so there's a little quicker.
I thought we were going to get up here and just have a relaxing day. Craig, I need to sip my coffee yet. Come on. Going back to the hose thing. Here, Doug, see this tries works on your air. It does. Look at that, would you? What? There we go. Going on here. No. You want that cup with that stuff in it?
Sure.
There's 2, there's 3. How do you get off? 3? Is that 4 right there?
Pull the stud right out, so we're gonna have to.
I'm gonna put that right in there. I'm gonna take it up on the ground. Yeah, pick it up, just so we don't. Right there.
The studs are around there.
Get my measuring tape. Center to center, looks like. Two and a quarter, be center, watch it go behind you. 2 1/4. Looks to be right. It's a lot nicer. Make the value of that engine buck a little bit. And it won't buff at all if you don't get the valve. So what that'll probably be is take the manifolds off, spray it with penetrate the fluid, let it set, probably jack up the engine, change the oil, take the oil pan off. And that'll be it for the day, probably, not on that. Put like gonna fix the distributor up or something too. Let me get a day from you.
I'll take time.
Doug Dennis. Got it right there. While Doug's doing that, we got the radiator stuck in the front. We've got it pretty well where we want it. If you want to get up close, baby, you can show them how close we have it to the fan. It's quite close to the fan. And it does not matter if it's close or not. All that matters is it does not hit.
Don't forget you got a cooler to put on the bottom of that. Transmission cooler.
Yes. So I'm hoping, as Doug says that, as we come around this side here, come take a look. This is what's going on. You can see that the mount of this radiator is right there. That's the mount. And I have cut yesterday, when I said I was going to cut it off, I cut that mount off. Where are the mounts? I had them here somewhere. I just put them on the table. Maybe I threw them out. I'm not sure, but I had the 2 little mounts. Anyways, I cut them off the top. You can see here how I cut them off on the back side of the radiator. I've cut the mounts off so it would go up as far as it could. The 2 mounts, when you look down, well, you can see them 2 mounts down in there. When you look down in there, you can see them on each side of the radiator. So what's going on now is I have that up in there just exactly as tight as I can get it. You can see how close the fan is. You see how close that is? We might have to skim a little bit off the fan, maybe. See what happens. We're pretty close there. You know what I'm saying? So we're pretty close there. This, I hate to say it, but I'm very happy with the way the red looks coming up through the hole. It'll be easy to check the water and all that stuff. As I go back down to the bottom, you can see these 2 mounts that are right here on the bottom of the radiator. You can see there's 2 mounts, one there, one on the other side. So on this application, if you wanted to take the radiator out, you wouldn't, it has to be unbolted. So we're gonna have to bolt it in and bolt it out. So this is the plan, what I've got going on. I've got this, actually I'll show you with this. I'm gonna take a measurement all the way across. This is not as big as this. This square tubing, or this 90 here is bigger, channel iron is bigger than this one. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna shove this underneath the chassis, and it's gonna fit that mount. It's gonna go all the way across. I'm gonna fit that mount just like that. I'm gonna go all the way across. I'm gonna weld it to the frame and go all the way across to the other side of the frame. And that way that'll hit that mount on that side. We'll weld this. I can't.
Angle arm.
Angle arm, my goodness. Sometimes I get tongue twisted. I get the angle iron, I'll weld it in there, and then you can see how I'm gonna bolt that, you can see how I'm gonna bolt that on. And then, when you take the radiator out, you wanna show better? Is that what you wanna do?
Okay.
So, when you want to take the radiator out, you would unbolt it and slide it down. So, I can pretty well show you with this whole piece. I can slide across here. What I'm going to do, weld that up to the frame, and then I can bolt the radiator to that. Bang, bang, boom. Now that I have that done, I'm really going to have to work for is to get the rack back on. I took the place of the rack. I moved the fan as close, or the radiator closest to the engine that I could. And that's where the radiator is going, because when I shove it closer to the front of the car, it does not fit up. The top of the radiator does not fit up in there. So I'm going to have to work a little bit and put the rack and pinion back where it was, but I'm just going to have to work a little harder. Just going to have to work a little harder. And that's basically what I'm going to do. So I know the measurements. I took the measurement yesterday. It's going to be 30.5 long. 30.5 long. And it's going to have a hole at 19 centimeters and 60 centimeters. I have a hole which is going to bolt to that radiator. On the top of this thing, I'm going to have a mount or something on the top of it yet. Not sure what I'm doing there yet. I might have just a place where it slides into rubber and holds it still. Yeah, that's basically what's going on with this car. And I might cut that and put that in, but you see how it's going on. It's no big thing. Doug's in today playing with that. We didn't realize we were going to have to take the manifolds off of that. But that's the exhaust manifold. He's already got the intake off it, so we'll go from there. Saving it one piece at a time. Got the 3 spark plugs out. Saved it there. We'll get the valves checked. Get them done there. And carry on from there. Maybe put an oil pan on it. Put a few valve pan cover gaskets on it. And it might come alive again. Angle iron. How much time, baby?
42.
Oh. Well, that's an episode. So what we're doing today, Doug's gonna continue on with that. Taking that off. I'm probably gonna cut that. That's what I'm gonna do right now, actually. Doug's taking that off. I'm gonna keep busy. Keep my mold from foaming over. We'll cut this off, and we'll start doing that. You can, and baby will say when it's time to shut it down, won't you? Huh? You'll say when it's time, yeah. Baby says it's time. So I already know the measurement because I took it last night. We had it up in there, me and Joanne. Oh, we got company. Got company, Doug? We got company. Oh, no worries. No, she's just trying to play that she's busy. Good job, Fina. Good job. The car's going down the road. Good job, Fina. There you go. Look at that. Shut that noise off to make another one. What I have on this chassis when I'm going to make this, oh baby, 30.5 long.
What's 60?
Centimeters. I think it's centimeters. Yeah. I did the centimeter thing because it was right on the money. See how it's 30.5 long, and right on the 60 was right on the hole, so I just left it that, and the other one was 19. I think it was 19. Did I say it was 19? Yeah, 19. So I'm just going to cut it off 30.5. I know, yeah. She's eating good this winter. She's eating good. She's eating good. I can't say nothing but that. She's eating good. 30.5. Oh yeah, on this cross member made for that radiator, if you can tell, the frame's going up. So when I lay this on here, this angle arm, when I lay this on there, it's not laying flat, it kind of tilts up because the chassis is going up, so it would tilt up like that. So what I'm gonna have to do is, I'm gonna have to I'll weld along this edge to build it up. So when it sits on that frame, that it comes back down and sits level. And then I will weld it onto the chassis, if you know what I'm trying to say. You know, just build it up a little bit here, and build it up a little bit there, with a little bit of weld on the edge, a little bit of weld right here. And just so it sits in there straight before I weld in there. If I weld it in there leaning like that, when I go to bolt the radiator on it, well, the radiator's gonna take off on me. So I wanna get it as straight as possible. As straight as possible. Turn this over. And I'm still gonna have to do a bunch of cutting once I get it mounted in there on the bottom. It's basically, I know where I can put it. What I'm working for is to get the body out. That's what I'm working for. But I think what we're gonna do is, once I get the radiator hooked up, I've got one more piece that I have to do with the front steering here to control the bottom control arm on this front end. We've used Mustang. There's a bar that goes from the bottom control arm into the frame. I haven't got that on there yet. And I'm gonna have to find it and fabricate it on before we take it off, because I wanna find the center of the wheel opening. That's what I wanna do. I wanna find the center of the wheel opening so I can bolt that on or weld that on. I have to do that yet. But what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get that little stuff done, have it ready so the body can come off. Somehow we're gonna get some snow out of here, and we're gonna pull Doug's car down, and we're gonna put some paint on the top of it. And what that takes is what we'll have to, we'll see when we get here what happens, what it's gonna take. And then we'll go through that process for a little bit, change it up for a little bit, and hope you stay with us. That's what I'm saying, I hope you stay with us. So we'll probably get this thing geared up a little bit. This cross member, get the radiator bolted in it. The rack and pinion I can figure out when I take the body off, because the rack and pinion only connects to the frame and that's it. With the radiator, I have to find out where that goes, because that goes into the body, and I have to know where it fits, and it does fit. The rack and pinion I do not. I can do that after, because I'm going to have to change that IC. So the radiator mount, which I'm making now, and I need the two arms, I guess you call them radius arms maybe, coming off the lower control arm and go to the frame. I need to put those two arms on after this, and then the body can come off. The body can come off. But we're not going to do that. We're going to throw the front wheels on it. We're going to roll it over there. We're going to bring in a fresh new project for a bit. It's going to be, what's your car, Doug?
1967 420G, Jag.
1967 420G.
The biggest Jag ever made.
Biggest Jag ever made. Doug has bought it and is restoring it himself. And we're going to help him like he's helping us. Helping him like he's helping us. All right, here we go. I don't use a bunch of angle iron. I guess that's why I had a hard time spitting it out. I don't use a bunch of it. But on this application, it works perfect. And it was laying up there, and it works perfect. If I put it in there, weld the frame. This is the frame on this side of the angle iron. This is the frame on that side of the angle iron. And then the radiator will bolt in here and bolt in there. And what I'm going to do is, this is what I'm going to do. I might even slot it so it can come back up and down, so I can get both ways. So I'm going to slot it so it can be bolted in up a little bit or down a little bit. And I need something to mark that. Something to mark that. Wow. I will say one thing, on a that's a bigger porthole than a 350 Chev had for exhaust. If it's trying to breathe, that says anything for the engine. Looked like someone took a dump right there. And you can see, so you're gonna spray up inside there and see if there's
Yeah, try to maybe drive a little heat up in there and see what happens.
a little heat?
Yeah, we'll try different things.
Okay.
The alternative is taking the head off.
Okay, you can see that. And I don't
You can see the valve stem, yeah.
See that? You see the valve stem inside there, baby?
And that's probably where it's sticking in
Yeah.
in the head there.
And it's probably a brass journal it's in, is it not?
No.
Are they in brass journal or steel
No,
journal?
it's steel.
Yeah.
Steel on steel.
Okay, so what we're gonna hope to do is, we're gonna put the Crown lubricant to it and let it soak, I probably would say, the best you can, and then we'll go from there.
And you can't turn it over until that's free. The alternative is taking the head off. And then
And that's something that we did not want to do.
Didn't want to do, but if we have to, we have to.
Doug takes bad news very well. Good job.
It's not my engine. I take it a little worse when it's my engine.
Oh, I understand now.
I've learned some new words.
Alright. So we got a 30 and a half. I'm thinking, what did I say, 19, 19. And I said 60. I don't really want to pull the radiator back out again to put that on there. I probably should, and then put it back up in place, like I can bolt, like the radiator, bolt it right to this, and then put it back up in place, and then I could weld it right in place. What I'm going to do now, you can see, I want to show you the issue right now. I guess I can bolt that back on there. As I do this, see if I go straight, there's a gap between the chassis and this. If I put it on like that, it'll turn down, turn the radiator towards the engine. Don't want to do that. I think I may take the radiator back out, get the holes done right, then it's bolted up straight, and then I know where I can weld it so it's flat and where it's supposed to be. That'd be the only way to really get the true read, I guess. So I think I'll pull the radiator back out. Wasn't going to, but it's Sunday. We're just going. I'm not running around today. We're not Russian. We're Canadian, aren't we, Doug? We're not Russian. We're Canadian. Can I help you with anything?
No, just,
Did you want any spray fluid in there?
well, I don't think there's any point because the valve goes up. How are you gonna get the fluid?
Well, that stuff creeps like a son of a gun.
It's gotta creep down on that up. I'm gonna try and put some heat in there around the stem and see it.
Let's go for it.
Watch your back, Doug.
Looking for that, I had a little hammer there somewhere.
I probably took it from you.
Is that?
Probably. I'll get back to you in a minute.
In my driver,
Your little thing that you were hitting the top of it with?
yeah. Is that too?
No, probably not. I just put it over here. Yeah, right there. You got light in your eyes, Doug. Got light in your eyes, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Light in your eyes. What do you need? That little.
Driver.
I know what you're talking about.
5/16 driver, with a blue handle on it, possibly.
Just a minute now.
Would that make sense?
Those are the mounts that I cut off the radiator.
Yeah.
Those are the mounts I cut off the radiator. Exact same thing are on the bottom. I'm just gonna run a bolt through that. Like this. That's gonna go on the radiator. The bolt on the back side of the angle iron. So I'm just gonna pull the radiator off, bolt that on, put the radiator in place, and then tack the cross member in so it'll be the exact right spot.
That'll wake up the stem, do you?
What?
You think that'll wake up the stem a bit?
Well, I'm you know, all I can do is pray and hope, right? Do that pray and hope thing. It worked for the 305 in the compression.
Yeah.
I prayed and hoped, you know, it did. And we sprayed the crown on.
That was going down in the seat though, that's a different story.
That's a different story, yeah. I agree with you.
Right.
And it's not like we can have one of them work, they all gotta work. What they look like inside there now? I want two done.
No, we're pretty toasty.
Don't be like that.
Pretty. Throwing it,
Yeah, they are.
cut it up.
Yeah. Hopefully, with a little bit of time, you wanna get in there and take a look? Jolene's in there taking a look. Hopefully with a little bit of time.
You'd have to be awful lucky, I think. Yeah.
Well, you're good, Doug, so luck could work. Look at this radiator, it's even got a turn spout here. It's not working at the present moment, it's got a turn spout to let your water out of your radiator. That's cool, and dang it. Huh? Doug, you ever see that? Got a little turn lever right here.
Oh, yeah. You
Don't
got
do
one
that.
too.
What? This
Oh,
is out of that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pretty-
my car has them too.
So this must be a British radiator.
Probably. Yeah, it will be.
Very well could be.
And how did you come by?
We did one pair for Lightfoot's,
Austin.
the Austin.
Well, the Austin.
Maybe, not sure. I don't think that big radio though, did it?
Radiator for an Austin.
Huh?
It's not a big radiator.
That's what I think the exact same thing, you know. I was thinking the exact same thing. What I've got going on here right now, it's not the greatest, but what I'm gonna try to do is run a bolt through those and try to get them cleaned up a little bit so I can run a bolt through them and even connect it to what's going on. Did you get one working?
No,
You sprayed that in there?
What?
Sprayed that in there?
Yeah.
Is that flammable, I wonder?
Probably.
tap and dies, I do not have around generally. Not into the tap and dies, you know. Either it goes or it don't usually. So if you're saying run a tap through it, probably don't have one right here at the present moment. Probably don't have one. But I do have a ratchet and
Where's your brass hammer?
my brass hammer.
Doesn't look too hopeful.
Come on now.
I think you're down to taking the head off.
Oh.
Oh, dear me. Oh, always.
Let's see, how do I get caught up in this stuff?
How do I get caught in this stuff?
Going in there nicely. Oh, that's. Oh. What I forgot. Started cutting off the brackets yesterday. Started cutting them off. I got to weld this one back on. I started cutting that one off. Made a mistake. But it is what it is. And I'll just weld it back on. Right now, I cleaned that up pretty good. I think that's the size right there. It's going in there pretty good. We'll do the other one. I'll weld that, fix that.
You were gonna take that head off anyway, wouldn't you?
Well, no, I don't want to take it. Well, I'd let it set for a little while, Doug. I'd let it set for a little while. That stuff might work. And I don't know. What would it do to make them work? Could you turn it over slowly and try with the piston push it back up?
It would bend, and it may break the piston. It's not worth trying.
Well, you wouldn't be able to get that much torque on it
Oh,
down there
yeah, you would.
to break that valve.
To bend the valve for sure.
Okay.
Once it's bent, then you gotta take it off anyways and renew it. They bend very easily. Like if you had that head off, with the camshafts in, some of the valves are down. If you laid it down like that, that's enough to bend the valves.
Okay.
So it has to be supported, if the cams are in it. If you back the cams off, that's not the case. But in this case, where they're jammed down, it is the case.
It's a bad case, isn't it? I'd rather have them jammed up.
Well, they're never ever gonna be all jammed up because they're different positions.
Right, but
You know. I think we're down to pulling the head, I really do.
well, we'll spray the Jesus out of it. We'll spray it all, and then we'll leave it till next time you want to go back and play cars. Leave it that way.
What I could do is take the camshaft, so,
No,
why?
I want you to let it soak for a while, in case it might work.
Well, if the camshafts were out, I could
Yes.
pull the cups out.
And you could probably get at the valves.
You could probably push something down.
Gotcha. But do you want to wait for it? I'll let you make that call.
I'm not too hopeful there, John.
You're not too hopeful?
No, where that cutted up, it's almost worthwhile taking them out and machining the valves anyways.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. But if you, like you said, if you took that camshaft off,
Yeah, you can, with the magnet, you can probably lift the cups out.
then you can lift the cups, then you can tap on the valves, could you not? But how would you tap them back up?
You can't tap them back up.
That's what I mean.
The spring's gotta bring them back up.
Okay. So if you loosen them up a little bit, if you took the cap off, they might come back. I'd spray the things the best you could, let it soak for next time you wanna play pairs, and then go that far. But, could be just wishing it in a prayer, give her a kiss and a prayer, I don't have no idea.
To make it a functional engine, I think you gotta pull it in.
To get the valves back where they should be. I'm just going through this, trying to get this to work. Sometimes playing with old gear takes a little more time because you have to finesse everything. You have to finesse everything. Ask Doug what that is. Finesse everything, huh? Alright, there's the bit. Got that one cleaned out, ready to bolt up. Bolts up nice. Bolts up very nice. Spray the wheels. Wait for a second. I'm going to turn the welder on. Get that one fixed again. Maybe pointing for me.
When you see them rusted, that corroded that bad in there, yeah, I think you're part against the wind here.
I believe you, Doug. I believe you. I believe it. I believe you. They obviously need a tap or see.
See how corroded they are?
Yeah, I had the nail head that we done, or I had done here, had the same look going on. And, oh, that valve looks bad. That looks bad, don't it?
Yeah, they are.
Ah?
Look at this one. Ooh, it's even worse.
Yeah, I see what's going on. Now I know what you're looking at. I was looking at this one.
No. If you had a pair of real fine needle nose, you could probably get a hold of that valve and twist that a little bit. That,
Where's them? I give you. Them long ones.
Hmm?
Where's them long ones I give you?
give me a moment.
I give you some long. You know what I mean? Like get in there. It's pretty hard to get in something, a spot like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need really vice grips to grab a hold of it. Like long needle nose vice grips.
Yes. Will that hurt the shaft that goes up through?
Well, you have to get it on the bottom so it doesn't hit hard to go through your guide.
Yeah. Like you're not, I don't think you're gonna be, you know.
No, I can't get in there, Ted. Sorry.
Can't get in there?
No,
Do that. I knew that.
no,
They don't look good, do they?
no, they don't.
No, they don't.
I might as well bite the bullet and take the cams out.
You gonna bite the bullet and take the cams out, are you, Doug?
Yep.
That's what Doug wants to do. That's probably what has to be done. Do you want me to get you something for all the nuts and bolts, keep everything in order? Or is there anything you have to keep in order? I know you have the nuts here for the manifolds.
Yeah, all the caps should go back in the same holes, the wafers should go back in the same holes, although we may have to change wafers. If you grind the valves, you're gonna have to change the wafers.
All right, you're speaking French to me now. Wafers.
What happens, here's the cam left here,
Yeah?
there's a cap below it,
Yeah?
below that is a wafer,
A wafer.
and
Okay.
below that is the valve.
Okay.
So the wafer is a spacer, and they're all measured to,
It's back.
yeah, like what you do, you put your cams in with a loose wafer, you measure them all, and then you go back and get the appropriate wafers that are gonna give you the 6 thou clearance, and put it back together, and it takes a while.
It takes a while. He said.
Takes me a while anyway.
Well, listen,
Peter would do it much quicker, but I'm not that quick.
that's just like anything else. The more you do it, the quicker you get, right?
Supposedly.
Supposedly. That's what it's supposed to
Do
be.
you have a pair of side cutters?
Pair of what?
Little side cutters?
I most likely do. Most likely do. There's lots of wire on here. Going for it, are you? You want that cut, do you?
Yeah.
We're going into building and rebuilding Jaguars. She's just taking out the chicken wire from the cane and behind here, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot. Lockers.
Hey, hey!
Make sure you don't break that off and drop it down in the inside, or then you gotta pull the whole engine apart to get it out. And that's nasty.
Just like that.
Here we go. That's one. These are 9/16 reps here. Can you reach for that? No,
I
nine.
can get it for you.
Oh, sorry.
9/16.
Try to help him up there. We could keep you rock and rolling with the job he did on the carburetor, huh? That's a sin, isn't it? Not a sin, Doug? It's a sin. All that hard work to get them front plug, and you have to turn around and do what you gotta take the head off anyways. But that's one job unless it has to be done.
Yeah.
Back in action. Back in action. Just put a little weld on that, on the inside of that. The same to my marks. And I'm a little off. Am I not? What's that? I'm a little off. Dotty pins. That one looks good. No, I'm not off, am I? Right on the money, aren't I? Look, center that. Right, that looks right on the money. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my holes, slot my holes right around that. I'm gonna draw that on right now with a marker, so I know what I want to cut out. Had a marker. Probably underneath the radiator. I don't want this big of a bolt to fit through. Actually, just kidding. Like I always do. I'm slotting it because I want to be able to move the radiator up and down and have adjustment. That's what I want. I want to be able to have adjustment. And that's what I'm doing. Adjust it. I'm going to go with the plasma cutter, cut that out. Then I won't have to build the ends up. I'll just bolt it on there so it's flat, throw it up inside the car, and then I'll weld it on the edge of the frame and I know where it's at. I will not finish it. I'll just tack it in place. And now my brain's got it. That's angular. Gotta make fun with it. I don't know things when I got it. Gotta make fun. Gotta make fun. I'm gonna use the plasma cutter. Sexy must have put it away because I didn't. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Jolene, will you marry me? I'll ask her again tonight. I'll ask her again tonight. There's a mess going on. Well, I'm just gonna go slow here. I get rushing around, I'll end up tripping on something. I'll just go slow. I'm thankful for Doug coming down and helping today. You know, thankful for Doug coming and helping. I'll be able to pay him back when we work on his car, hopefully. Yep, pay him back, work on his car. And it's something I haven't done for a while, is paint something. We'll test my skills on Doug's car. Huh? Yeah, we're gonna do the testing skills. Oh, I think we'll be fine, Doug. We'll be fine. Yeah. Well, you never know what you need. The 9/16?
Yeah. No, that's a 5/8.
No, 9/16.
Oh, that's 9/16.
Yeah.
So it's one down from the other one, 2.5 inch.
You want the 1/2 inch?
No. Is that up there?
Just maybe. Don't see it right off the head. That's why you're wondering where it's at.
Yeah. You lock off of it?
Well, I don't think.
I'll wrap your knuckles if you steal my tools here.
Yeah. Hey, well, you'll have to stick around. You'll have to do a little bit of TV with us and watch someone steal your tools.
No.
Man, it's bad. Turn your head and someone's got to make the baby. I'll give you that so you can continue on. I don't know where yours is, but I'll give it to you so you can continue. You want. Be just good anyways. I don't think I walked off with it.
Craftsman,
I've been known to do worse.
I suppose.
I've been known to do worse. I'm gonna put the arrows in here. Yeah, so we don't know where what worms we're gonna open when we peel the paint off your car, eh? We have no idea, do we?
Last paint was 1983.
1983. Good year though.
I know they stripped the car, they took the windows out of it and the door locks out of it and they gave her a good.
They did a good going over on it?
Yeah, they stripped the car and sandblasted it and.
Oh, wow.
Fixed the bottom underneath and,
Yeah.
you know, it's a solid car.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jeff did all the wood for it. You got the bottom part of it painted now, eh?
Yeah.
Now it's just and Doug's gonna get the interior done. Got an appointment to get that done. Being a bugger. Kind of a little big hole, but a little big of a hole, but yeah, I'm gonna get you some. I'm gonna send you home some and cut it if you want.
No, I don't want to sit down, I just want to store these in the appropriate way so we don't lose them.
We can put tape on them if you would like, for each one, how many you want? 3, 4, 2,
Just
1?
Give me one for starters. Well, there's for this side. Two of them, probably one for each side.
Okay, we'll put tape on them if you want to tape them on. I can put them on now if you want them. So, no fear, Tim Hortons is here.
Comes apart a lot easier and it goes together. When you put these back in, you have to have the time properly. You have to have this number 6 piston in top dead center. And then there's marks on the camshafts, and then there's a little tool you put on here to make sure that they're in the right position. If the cams are out of time, then you can have the pistons come up and nail the valves and break all sorts of things. They're pretty finicky. Take that oil tube off.
I'm loving it. Hard dog, the old. I think I burned every washer up for the top of the head of that.
Take the spark plugs out.
Yeah, I did so, yeah. I burned up a lot of washers, I did. I think this will be fine. 22. That is working there. Go back in for another one. Couple washers is all I need. And the hole that I have can be bigger on the small on this side. This one on this side. One on this side. Level it out as best we can. Make it straight. And as we were looking up underneath the car last night, I could see the bottom of the radiator in the front. And it really looked nice how level it was across the front end and everything, you know. It means something, you know. You gotta look underneath of it. It means something. It means something. Oh, going close to the radiator now. Gotta do punch a hole in the radiator in again. A little bit too long. Let's do a couple more washing on it, that's all for now. That's all I'm going to do, put a couple more washing on it. I'll do all the adjusting, all the brake bolts when it's off. A little long the bolt is. Put more washers on it for shits and giggles, make sure it doesn't bottom out on the radiator side. What it's going to do down through the little bracket there, I just don't want the bolt to hit the radiator. Could get a shorter bolt. These are brand new. These work nice. Stuck there already. And we're just gonna bites fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to level it out with the bottom of the bracket on this side. Just level it out somewhat. And level it on this side, on this bracket. Here we go. Now I'm going to try to put the radiator in there, and I should know, or find out. That goes up in there like this. That will be long enough to keep the chassis is going to be here. The radiator's going to go here. So if you ever need to drop just the radiator out, you would unbolt it from here and slide your radiator out from the bottom. That's basically it. Basically it. I'm going to take this away. I'm going to put the radiator in there, and then I'll pick it up, and then I'll get Jolene to slide the jack underneath the radiator, and we'll put it in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up front, pick the radiator up. I'll get Jolene just to push the jack ahead and put her underneath the radiator again if she will, please. Just that. Push the radiator against me there. Got her. Put that on there like that. And then I'm going to jack it up. Slowly. See what happens. I can see where the radiator's going. It's not going to fall too far.
Want me to jack it?
No, just gonna. This is one thing that we have to do and know for sure is where the radiator's going. We have to do it. It has to be for sure. Simple as that. Now, get your hand in there to crush that. I think I'm going to go over just a bit. Well, the bad news is that the valves are stuck in the engine. The good news is we got somebody to fix it. Be worse, Doug, if we didn't have no one that knew what they were doing. Do you want to pull that handle, sweetheart? Just pump that up just a little bit, please. Just enough to get us in trouble. You know what? I've been in trouble before, and sometimes I learn stuff from that.
You have a magnet.
Just a second. Yeah, I do. It's called Jolene. I'm magnetized to her. Magnetized. Right, little tiny one right there. Get the little teeny weeny one. Will it do your trick?
No, not strong enough.
Oh, okay. Let me just a minute. See, yeah, you might as well try stuff where you're that far, right? Because you could put that can back on, could you not?
No.
Okay.
What about the paint gun holder?
Here, you want to clean this off? This is pretty good too, actually. That thing right there is pretty good too, that little light. It's got quite a magnet in it. I don't know if you can get that down in there or not.
No.
Good thinking though.
Good try.
Good try, good try. Watch this thing now. This thing's got a lot of shit on it though. That's what the problem is with this thing. Oh, you got two of them up?
No, they're not up. They all should be all the way up, they're not.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Watch that thing. You look, see all the shit on that, Doug?
Yeah.
All the crud on that? You can take this if you want to try to get that off. There's a lot of crud on it. Give it a bang or... The valve still didn't pop though, did it?
No, these are just the caps, the cups. And
So you're just gonna try to pull the caps out now?
pull the cups out and pull the spacers out, and that exposes the top of the valve.
Okay, the wafers.
Yeah, the wafers. Come on, you.
Coming. You got a lot of poopy stuff on there. Metal filings. Nice to have that light though, isn't it? But in your way.
That's right. Come on.
Maybe you want to jack that thing just a second?
There we go. Oops, and something went flying. There's the wafer.
Okay. Did something go flying for you?
No. There's the wafer. That's what sets the valve. And then there's the valve.
Want to hit that with a hammer, Doug? Probably not good to, right?
Probably not a good idea. See, all those wafers are going to be different.
Nothing went flying on you, did it?
No, I guess not.
Hope not. Let me know, would you?
Yeah, once we get past the first one, went very well, didn't it? Oh, what do we got here? That must be the magnet.
Oh,
Came off it, didn't it? Is that a magnet? Yeah, it's a magnet. That must have been the one we were playing with before.
yeah.
There, so they're all up.
What have you sprayed that with penetrating fluid?
Uh,
What does this hole do? Can you see in there?
no, that's just it's a gallery for water.
Okay.
But you can spray some of that other stuff down the hole. Is that it? And you said you had a little wooden block or something, did you?
Well, I would maybe get something like...
Something soft to hit the top of the house a little bit? Let's see what happens. Popped up, see that? Straight up.
Didn't it?
Yep.
Try the other end. It looks like your thing's gonna break on you. Try your other end.
That one popped right
Yeah.
up. That's a good one.
There you go.
That popped up.
Hail, Doug!
Yeah, we're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
That's it too, so,
That's looser.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who knows, we may get lucky.
I like the sound of this already.
Partial success. You need to get that lucky.
Beautiful.
You haven't got a little brass punch, do you, that would just hit the valve and not the spring?
Let's see here. Now, when you asking for something smaller, do the exact same thing.
Yeah, right, just hit, I just want to tap the end of the valve instead of the spring and all.
Okay.
See, I'm tapping the spring and the cap right now.
All right. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Be nice to have is a brass punch.
I don't know. Long time.
Brass punch. And that's now you done.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. You're at the end of the class, buddy.
Listen, I never got there very much. Thank you very much. Want a bigger hammer, Doug?
No, I don't.
Which one? What I'm looking at the gap down here between the metal, just line it up so it's nice and straight. Radiator's in there. I've got enough gap up the front. See, I've got a little bit going on there. Gonna have to trim that down maybe a little bit. Also, I got a plan. I want to weld that on there. That's where I want to be. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and weld this. You can see how it's straight now, and I gotta see how the gaps up here. That's what I want it for. So now I'll come in here and weld that along there. Go along, weld the other side. Then I know I have a mount for the radiator. And it will fit. But on the other hand, I'm going to have to deal with the rack. So I have to deal with that. And that's not, I'm not on the woods on that yet. But I'm thinking that the radiator has to be done before the body comes off. So that's what I'm going to do.
No.
So you've got 2 of them so far?
Two stuck. The rest of them are three.
Bring one more crown, man. Wouldn't it be good to give the spring and everything a shot instead of just the valve, so the spring is jumping too?
Well, I gave it all a shot.
Want a bigger hammer?
No. Those, that's number 1 and number 6, and they're fully open, so there's not a lot of room to travel.
Ouch. Now I'm just going to weld this in here because it is where it wants to be. And I'll finish it when it comes out. I will finish everything, grind it nice, clean it, round it, take all the edges off it. But I still need to place that rig. Everything's in place, everything's looking good. Just want to look on the top, make sure it's. And what I'm looking for, I'm just looking down the straight. I got the front end going across. Then I got the bar that holds the radiator going straight across. And I want the same gap in between it all the way across, so it's the same. Basically all I want to do. I want to get the cord to the other side, so I'm turning this on. Pull this ahead. And over here. Plug it into this.
No, we're not getting anywhere we want.
What's that? I'll come over here and pray for you, Doc.
Praying's gonna help or not?
Did it go down any further?
No, it can't. It's all the way down.
Okay.
That's the problem.
So we got this one and that one.
Number 1, number 6 are fully open position, so they're all the way down.
Yeah.
So there's.
Could they be hitting the piston now?
No, they can't because we haven't changed the rotation.
Okay.
See, this was timed, this prevented from interference.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we won't, I think we should have coffee and all that stuff before we.
Before you pull ahead?
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. We have to give you something to eat and all that stuff and take a little prayer dinner time at the dinner table. And everything. You know what I'm saying?
We're praying, is it?
We're praying, buddy. We're praying. We're goodwill. That's all I'm putting on is goodwill.
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday. Yes. I'm happy to be alive.
None of us went to church, did we?
Say that one more time, Doug.
None of us went to church.
None of us went to church. I did when I was a young fella.
That's not today, though.
That's how I learned how to cut paper patterns.
Really?
Yes.
You're looking for dispensation today, you see. You haven't been there today.
That's right.
Yeah. That's it.
Tacking that in there for now. It's not going anywhere. Looks good and level. Got lots of room for the radiator. Looks good. Just tacking that. All right, everybody. We're gonna call it. This hour has an hour and a half, and have a great day. I'm happy to have Doug in today helping. Good to see him. Haven't seen him in a couple days. Everything's going good. Have a good one.